So welcome back to another video, and in this video we'll be continuing with my dream home garage workshop. This is something I have literally dreamed about for years. If you haven't seen the first video of how this place started off, then click up here to the link and then come back and join us this one once you've seen that one. And for the people that have followed the little journey already from the first video and the eagle eye viewers, you can see that this is now all been painted black, and I think you agree it does look a lot better. The floor has also had 2 coats. And I've even painted this little black strip here. And the reason I've painted that black strip is because we will be fitting a whole new floor. So I've bit the bullet. I've gone, do you know something? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's get some proper garage floor tiles down. I wasn't going to do this originally, but there was a few reasons why I decided to do it. The first one is painting floor is just going to keep chipping, and that is going to get really annoying, and it's just going to not look very good in a very short, space of time. Also, there's lots of imperfections in the floor, and in my opinion it doesn't look great. It'd be nice just to have it looking all nice and flush and nice and new, and let's just sort of go for it sort of thing. So that is why I've decided to go with new flooring. So let's get that flooring down and then we can continue. I also have gone for a new workbench I need to put together. I've got some racking, I've got a massive new toolbox, and I've also got other things on their way which will be here in this video. So if you stay to the end, you will see how this all finishes up and what it's going to look like. And I really cannot wait to see the finished product. I'm so hoping it's going to turn out just how I'm hoping it will. So let's crack on with the video. Let's get this flooring down and then we can start setting all the kit up. So I started by sweeping the floor first because I didn't really want anything underneath it. So the flooring I went for was from a company called Big Doug, and they are on Amazon, and it seemed the best value for money flooring, and I managed to get it on Prime Day. So I did manage to save about £100, and the flooring for the whole thing came into, I think it was just over £600. So I thought that was great value. So there's a lot of places that are literally over £1,000. As you can see, I started laying the flooring from the front of the workshop. I did it that way because if I did run out of tiles, I could probably find something to do at the back. And also, if I need to cut any tiles, the cut ones will also be at the back. I had so much stuff in the workshop that as I kept on putting tiles down, I had to keep on moving stuff. So I do like a section of the workshop, then I have to move everything onto it so I can carry on laying some more tiles. So I worked out a great little system for getting the tiles down a lot quicker. Was literally just lay a whole row and then just bang them all into place. It was now time to move the toolbox and all the other stuff out the way, hoover that space up so I can get some tiles going into that corner. And then carry on moving stuff out the way. So I just had to do the edging now, straight down there, so I had to cut all these bits, and I found the best thing to do was to get 2 tiles, measure them and just get the track saw on it. That seemed to work perfect for me, so measure it, track saw, boom, done. Happy days. The workshop's an absolute mess, as you can see. It would have been so much better and easier to do this with an empty one, but unfortunately I couldn't do that. I had so much stuff in it and not really anywhere to move stuff to. But we're making progress. That corner's all done now as well. So I think I'll call it a day on that for the moment and come back tomorrow and finish this off. So it's a new day. I didn't have time yesterday to finish all the flooring out. I've got this area down here to finish off. So once I've done that, then we can crack on with it, get this area all sorted out and continue building my dream home garage workshop. So let's get on with it. So I cracked on with the edging and I had to scribe around the little partition walls. So I just marked it all out, drew a line, and I found a good way of cutting it. It was just literally just using a handsaw and then just a jigsaw. And that seems to be working really well for me. So with that one all in, the floor was pretty much complete and I had quite a few tiles still left over. So that was great news. So with the floor basically all down now, apart from little ramps I've got to put down that end, and any tiles that I want to replace I'm not quite happy with. But as you see, I've got enough tiles left over to do that. I need to start building some storage so I've got somewhere for things to go, because it's just an absolute mess in here. So let's put this rack together and put it in place. So I was unpacking the new shelving unit and laying the pieces down, and I can also see what was missing. There was the bits where the legs sort of like join themselves together to make the height. But do you know something? I've got to make this work. So in the end, what I decided to do was you put one of the shelves in the middle, which then I could use as like the piece to join the lower and upper legs together. So you'll see later on what I had to do with that to get that to work. But there you go, there's a shelf, so that's what I need to join onto. So I moved the shelving unit over to where it will be going, next to the partition wall, and there you go, you can see what I'm having to do now to join these legs on so I can get them to connect into the keyhole fixings. So as you've seen, I've just had to chop these bits down because I bought this kit cheap because it was damaged box, but it appears that lots of things are missing. So I've just been trying to make it work. So I'm hopefully that will slot down on there now, and then we can continue with the build. If you're enjoying the video, why don't you think about giving the video a like and also consider subscribing to the channel. So with my modification looking like it's going to work, I cracked on with getting the shelf unit all put together. Happy days. So with the racking all put together in place, it's time to build the workbench. So let's get the parts close to the area where we fit in the unit. So I'll start opening all the packaging up, getting the bits out. Have a quick little read of the instructions. Get some more bits out. And another little quick read. And I start putting the drawer boxes together first, which are all made of metal, and I really like that. And this workbench was all made by Big Doug as well, same company I got the flooring from, and you know something, it was absolute brilliant stuff. So I definitely would recommend getting their products. So with the drawer boxes all put together, it's time to get the unit built up, which was quite simple to do. The instructions were really good. So with the sides all on, the dividers on and the base on, it's time to fit the back panels. So I just put those in place and then start screwing them in. With the unit now facing the right way, it's time to unpack the worktop and get that out and get that fitted. Place it on top, put a couple little fixings in at the front because I will need to scribe this into the wall to get the right shape. As you see, I've got the master table line there, so I just do a little scribing mark there so I know where to cut. And then I just cut that to the shape of the wall. And then refit the worktop, get it into sort of semi-place, measure it all up and get ready to scribe the back edge, because I do have a bit of timber that does stick out further than the rest of the wall, which I do need to cut around. So there's my scribe line. So let's get that all cut up. With the worktop all cut in and the whole unit all in place, it's now time to level it in, and it just has these little adjustable feet on the bottom which you just turn and then you lock in place with the upper nut. So the unit all nice and levelled, proper happy with that, let's crack on. So what does every workbench need? A vise. So let's get the vise attached. So once I worked out well with my vise, I drilled the holes, and remember, if you're fitting a vise, you want it so it is against one edge, because if you've got long parts that you need to put in the vise, they need to be able to drop down and not catch on the worktop. So I put mine here, and also because I didn't want to see the bolts hanging over the worktop on the left hand side. So it made sense for me to fit mine right here. Right, let's get back on to putting the drawers and doors back on the unit. So on with the doors first. The way the drawers went together with these were absolutely brilliant. There was no screws, they literally just locked into place. It was metal on metal, absolutely brilliant. Loved it, such a strong design. Just remove the keys for the locks and then continue getting the last little drawers all in. I'm pretty impressed with that. I quite like that. I think it looks good. On to the next thing. Next thing to fit is this, my charging station. So I wanted somewhere to put all my power tools, chargers, batteries, all that sort of thing, and this thing seemed absolutely perfect. So quite a nice easy thing to do. It literally just goes on like a metal split pattern. So you just literally screw one in, level it all in, make sure you've got it all right, and just hang it on. That's all there is to it. And there we go, that's another thing done. So I think the workstation area is looking pretty good. Obviously it just needs a really good tidy up, but overall pretty happy with that. So next thing is tackling the toolbox. I think I'm gonna have to clear some of this space by getting rid of a lot of this rubbish and just putting everything down one end while I sort this out. And then once this is all done, then I can then start moving stuff into their new places. And then we still got to wait for the big deliveries to turn up to make this place really cool. So with all the work happening inside the workshop, the poor RS has been stuck outside getting absolutely filthy for probably about a month now. So it's time to give it some love, and I'm going to start off by using some iron remover from GTECHNIQ, and we're going to start with this and get cracking on making the RS look like new. The link is in the description. Now we're going to leave that for 3 to 5 minutes to do its job. After a few minutes you will see that it's all started to go purple, and that is where the GTECHNIQ's iron remover has started to do its job, and it's removing all those contaminants from our wheels and our paint. All their products are science backed with real world results, and every formula is developed with cutting edge technology to ensure maximum protection, longevity at the price that makes sense, whilst being simple to use and saving you time and effort. So with the wheels all nice and clean, it's time to give them some protection. So we're going to be using the GTECHNIQ complete wheel coating kit. So what you get inside this is you get some panel wipe, you get the C5 wheel armour, and you get 3 0R microfiber buff cloths. Let's go and protect those wheels. Very simple to use. Just literally spray some of the panel wipe directly onto the cloth, and now wipe all around the wheels to move off any like residue that's been left behind. And now let's add some protection. So just add a few drops onto the applicator, and now just start wiping onto the wheel, and then just buff off with a dry cloth. So with the car all clean now and the wheels protected, it was such an easy application. So thanks to GTECHNIQ. So why don't you click on the link to see what fantastic products they've got that may suit you. So next up, let's put this together and put it in place. I hope it's going to fit. I worked it all out, the dimensions online for it, and I should have around about 30mm gap between the wall, well, between the walls. But I do have a socket there, so I know once we've got past that bit, we should be okay. And also the height, I've measured that as well, so it should just slot in there absolutely perfect. But like anything, we probably have to put it together a little bit, so let's do that, and then let's see if it hopefully fits in the place, because I don't really fancy moving that wall. So I got Sarah Jane in to give us a hand just lifting the big box off the top, but the roof wasn't high enough, so I ended up ripping it off anyway. So with it all getting unpacked and just laying pieces out, unfortunately there is a dent on the right hand side, and I never noticed this until I all had it fully installed, but you can see it. It looks like it should fit. So with a semi sort of trial fit, it was looking good. So let's read the instructions, get this unit put together, which is really straightforward. It was just all by like keyhole fixings on the back, so everything just obviously slots in. So put all the screws in and then just slide the bars on and tighten them all up. And then we put like the little back panel on, same sort of way, screws in the back and lift it into the fittings. So with those all tightened up, I got Sarah Jane in to just give me a lift on with this big unit. It was catching on one side, but there you go, sorted. So with it all put together, I was just double checking that all the screws were done up tight, because once it's in place, I'm not going to be able to get to them. So now let's try and get it in its permanent position. But yeah, just as I thought, the socket was going to be in the way. So I had to remove the socket, which meant killing the power and the electric, so I can get it into place. I had to get a trolley jack as well, because two of the wheels are fixed and don't swivel, and the other two do swivel. It would have been a lot better if they all swiveled, but unfortunately it wasn't that way. So trolley jack and a bit of wood. There was also a bit of where the electrics were running behind, there was like a little bracket thing, which was also stopping it from going back. So I just removed that and just moved things around up there, so I could just get the unit just to push back a lot more, so it was sitting flush with like the partition wall on the top sort of units. So with it all in place, it's time to put the socket all back on the wall. So screw that all back on, get the faceplate, screw that back, and we can get some more power going on and some lights happening. So the toolbox is in and it fits. That is happy days and a job done. Don't think it's going to go anywhere, and once it's got some tools in there, it's definitely not going anywhere. Right, so I need to tidy all this stuff up now, because we have a big delivery coming. So I will see you in a second. So I've now had a massive tidy up, and it's looking so much better. I think you can agree on that. It feels so much bigger in here, and it's just looking absolutely wicked. I've got these little black baskets to go on the shelf, which I think makes that look a lot neater. I've also upgraded all the sockets to metal ones. And the new consumer unit has gone in with another cable. So now we have our 16 amp commando socket there. So I think we're now ready for the next delivery. of parts coming, so here they come.
So what is decided, you mate?
Yeah, I was going to take a picture, man.
Yeah, no worries.
So the mid-rise is here.
Look at that. Got a lot of unboxing to do, a lot of setting up to do. We've got to work out how to get it off the crate.
So this is going to be interesting and a bit of fun. So let's start setting the ramp up. So I started by removing all the smaller bits and going through everything just to make sure everything was there. Everything seemed really well protected and packaged.
How cool is that? And there's our little control box there, which we need to put over here. I've already sold my old ramps, so I need to move them out the way. I'm probably just going to put them to the other side for the moment because the control boxes go in there. Actually, to be fair, they might be able to actually stay where they are, but those ramps have already been sold. They've been brilliant, but it's time to upgrade. So let's work out a way of getting this off that pallet.
So with the help of some trolley jacks and some axle stands, I got on with the task of removing the ramp from the crate. So I was lifting up one end at a time, putting the mobile kit on, but you had to get up to a certain height to be able to get the crate out to then use the mobile kit, which I managed to use some of the new flooring, but the spare parts to make like a little ramp to help get it down. And also you have to remove these 4 blocks from either side, which are bolted into each corner. So straight on with that, and then we finally managed to remove the ramp and get it on the floor. So I think I've got that semi in place where I want it.
I think until we get a car on it, we're not going to know for sure. And also I've still got to remove those wheels. But you need to get it all powered up first, so let's get it all powered up and plumbed in over here, and then we should be good.
So I started by removing the cover on the control panel to reveal the electrics, and then filled up the reservoir with the hydraulic fluid. And then connect the hydraulic lines and making sure they are on nice and tight. We don't want to leak. So with the hydraulic lines all connected, it's time to get the electrics all connected up. So I'll start sorting out the cables, trying to make it nice and tidy to get it up through the glands, and then start connecting it all up. It's all numbered, so it's relatively straightforward to do. Just match the numbers, and yeah, that's all there is to it really.
Right, I've wired it all up. So I've got all the corresponding numbers, all matching these numbers here. So it should be good to go. So just put the cover on, plug it in, and let's see what happens. And hopefully it will go up. Right, here we go. How cool is that? They work.
So it's a few days later. I've had to move the ramp around to get a better position for it because of the layout of the doors being more over to that side. I've also need to cut 2 foot off the hedge to get a better angle getting in, and I even built a little box around the tap. Got another little unit over here, and the only thing red left in here is that, so let's sort that out. So with my dream workshop coming together nicely, we've got our rack in, we've got our workbench, we've got our charging station, we even got our little fridge. I've moved these over here at the moment because I don't know whether I'm going to keep them or get another unit. I've got a stool, a couple of thinking chairs, and obviously we've got a new black tool trolley, the new toolbox, the new sockets, electrics, all boarded up. Another little unit here just to put some bits in and also put bits on top while we're working, with it looking a lot better in here and a lot tidier. And we definitely have a lot more space, getting rid of all that clutter. And I even treated myself to a mop. So a little dumping sort of ground here. There's all my liquids where I put my old oil. I've got one for screen wash, one for coolant and brake stuff. Just various sort of bits here, which I don't know if they're going to stay like that, or I'm going to put one a rack in, or do something, maybe put a little rack in there. That could be an idea. But I think for the moment, it's all working pretty well for me. But yes, we have the ramps. So I think the next thing to do is, let's get the RS in. Let's get it up on the ramps.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
So now with the RS all positioned onto the ramp, let's see if we can get full height on it, because this roof is not the highest, but being only a mid-rise, we should be all right. I think that's more than a metre, and this goes up to a metre, so I think we should be fine, but let's see what happens. Absolutely wicked. We are now at full height. And we still have some space. Obviously we can't have the bonnet all the way up when it's in the air, but when the bonnet's up, I need the car down here, not up there anyway. So I think the ramp is a great success. It's not going anywhere, that is solid. And as you can see, I've even bolted it all to the floor. So it can't go anywhere. But as I said earlier, it had to be in this position for the doors, because obviously we've got that blanket panel there, and then the doors are more this way. And I didn't want to start moving the water that way, because that's all metal piping and stuff. It's not even flexi piping. So I've just cut the hedge down to give us more of a runway. But absolutely wicked. That, you know what I mean? It's loads of space. So that is proper cool. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and put a comment down below if there's anything you would have changed or anything you feel like we need to add to the workshop to make it even better. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to start doing some modifications on this.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.